So I'm not sure where to start. I guess let's start with who I am. My name is Chris Buckin, better known as Buckstall Woodworks on Instagram. I'm a 17th, 18th century hand tool woodworker. I've been doing woodcraft for about 5 years, on and off. I by no means am an expert in my field. I probably never will be, at least in my opinion. I still learn new stuff every day. I'm a perpetual student, as it were. I love woodwork. I first fell in love with wood when I was 19 doing framing. Granted, it was pine, which is not the most luxurious material out there, but I was fascinated with the grain structure and what I could do with it besides burn it. As time passed, my intrigue grew till I was fully immersed in the craft. There was so much to learn: wood species, grain characteristics, tools, techniques, the list goes on and on. I couldn't get enough. Just like most, I started with power tools, and there was enjoyment at first, but I didn't quite feel right. My frustration grew quickly. The mass amounts of dust, the screaming machines, and of course the always present danger of losing appendages. It wasn't for me. In turn, power tools lost their luster. I was in search of something more refined in terms of furniture and tools. Roy Underhill once quoted Obi-Wan Kenobi in Season 26, Episode 7 of The Woodwright Shop, The Spirit of Woodcraft. Luke, I have something for you. It's your father's lightsaber, the weapon of a Jedi Knight, not as clumsy or random as a blaster, but a more elegant weapon for a more civilized time. Granted, he was talking about mindfulness in your work. In my opinion, this quote is more based toward furniture and the tools of the modern era. I began shifting toward hand tools and became enamored. All I could do was look, as there weren't funds to purchase anything, starting with a cheap $50 Lowe's bench plane. Side note, $50 definitely isn't cheap, per se, but in the world of hand tools it can be. This was also before I discovered antique stores. My first bench was a door made of plywood set on a wobbly metal table frame. I have never been interested in brand names, valuing quality over notoriety. It didn't matter whether I had the tools I wanted or not. I had the drive to learn, so I started. And over many years and many hours restoring tools, I grew a pretty decent collection. There was a lot of learning from my mistakes, as well as things that came naturally. I didn't know how to sharpen, set up, or how to properly employ the tools. Hour after hour was spent reading whatever books came my way, and an equal amount of time was spent watching videos on the subject. It has been a long and arduous journey, but I needed to know more. I needed to improve, and with time I have. I'm still a long way from my aspirations as a craftsperson, but that's okay. I'm improving every day. That's what leads me to YouTube. The desire to share whatever knowledge I have with as many people as possible. Sharing my failures, triumphs, and everything in between. I also want to learn as much as I possibly can from everyone that has knowledge to share. I want to show everyone that you can start with what you have. Making do is what I have done for a long time. And I want to show you it's not always about the tools. Most of the time, it's about the craftsperson and how you approach things. One of the best creators I can recommend is Rex Kruger. He has made hand tool woodcraft a much more approachable trade. I know when I started, it was a daunting undertaking. If you have a chance, definitely watch his content or even join his Patreon. It is well worth the time spent. I believe teaching and preservation of this art is extremely important. I love this craft with everything I have. It's a dying trade. I insist that you use this in any channels on this platform as a resource. I will do my best to compile everything I can on the craft in order to share it. I want to make the path from greenhorn to artisan as easy and low cost as possible. Now that you know a bit more about what I do and why I do it, let's get into what kind of content you should expect from my channel. My family and I almost a year ago purchased 8 acres in the North Georgia mountains. We have done some work already, like grading, gravel, well, septic, etc. I will be covering our progress from this point forward. We plan to homestead and make it as self-sustained as possible. I will be creating vlog-style videos of the land when I do post them, but the main mass of my content will consist of 17th, 18th century woodcraft, how-tos, and ASMR. Because who doesn't love the sound of a well-tuned saw or hand plane at work? I'm currently building a shop down in the woods, so expect quite a bit of my content to be shop build videos at first. I will be trying to do as much as possible by hand, but a power tool will pop up now and again. From there, I want to teach the Sloyd method of woodcraft. It is a progressive skill builder with an emphasis on one's own sense of quality. If you have any suggestions for what you would like to see, let me know. I'm always open to new ideas. If you want to see where this is going, please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next we meet.